What's up, guys? Welcome back to AV. Today I have a review for you on an anticipated RTA. It's going to be on the QP Designs Violator RTA. I got on top of the, I don't even know how to say it, Suck My Mod and Vanity Vapes. Let's get into it. This is to be from QP Designs for the purpose of this review. Thank you very much. It's not going to change my opinion of this RTA. So you guys obviously remember the Fatality 28, and then he came out with the Fatality 25. He also came out with, the Juggernaut V1, Juggernaut V2, but I would pertain this to the Fatality because it has the same deck setup and airflow configuration as the Fatality did. What we're going to do in this review is we're going to dive down. I'm going to show you the Violator RTA. I'm going to give you all the information about it. Before I do that, Violator is off of the comic book The Clown of Spawn. You remember? Anyways, that's where the name came from. I'll show you a picture down low. Put a build in, wick it up stills, the whole nine, and come back up top, and I'll give you my pros and cons, final thoughts on this when we get back up top. I'll compare it to the Fatality and the Fatality 25 to give you my opinion on those two. I know there's a lot of questions. That's the first question that popped in my head when I got it, and yeah, I'll see you in a minute. So what's up, guys? We're at the close-up of the Violator RTA by QP Designs. Limited edition. This is the package it comes in. Stainless steel and black are the colors it comes in. Okay. Here's 28 millimeters diameter, holds 4 mLs. I'll go over all that in a second. All right. You're going to open it up. Authentication card. All right. I got number 3. Happy holidays. Violator. All right. If you guys don't know the Clown of Spawn in the comic book back in the day, that's what this is going off of. Remember that dude? Sticker. User manual. You're going to get your Violator RTA. We're going to look at it in a second. What does it come with? You're going to get a bubble glass that holds 5.5 mLs of e-liquid, and you're also going to get this will come installed into the RTA to hold 2 mLs for the TPD restrictions in the country, depending on where you live. You're going to get a little condom ring to put on the outside of the straight glass if you want, which I would recommend. You will get an A10 Delrin black drip tip as well. You will get a bag of goodies. Blue screwdriver, Allen key grub screws if you wanted to use them. Flatheads are installed, and some O-rings. You're also going to get 4 of these. I got 1 installed, but you're going to get 4 different airflows inserts. All right, you got this one, which is a little bit more. That's single coil. That is the diamond cut for single coil right there. This is the regular one for dual coil, and then I have the diamond cut dual coil installed, which I've been vaping on and using. And you're also going to get this tool to take off the glass, which I'm going to show you. So here it is, the Violator RTA. Sorry about that. I just had to clean it and whatnot. Okay. But it's 28 millimeters diameter. Comes with this frosted 810 drip tip as well. 810 drip tips do fit. All right. So we're going to work from the top down. So it is counterclockwise. You're going to want to make sure that O-ring is installed. You want to make sure those are in there, okay? Same top as the Fatality. Now, if you look at the top, there's those 2 openings. That's where you would take the tool, and you would put it in there to take off the glass. Violator RTA, serial number 3, limited edition. Only 2 batches of these are being made. You got a gold-plated 510 pin. It is protruding. You can use this on a hybrid, okay? QP, Philip Quinville. Now, if you wanted to take that glass off, you would take this piece here, and that comes off. All right, and then that glass piece comes off, right? And then you could drop on the bubble. Now, before we go any further, this is the chimney. This chimney is a little bit wider in diameter. So what he did was, you see these little 3 slits near the wicking? That helps with wicking. And I have to say, it does help. It does wick tremendously efficient. And I believe it's got a lot to do with these cutouts. There's 3 cutouts there, and then there's 3 cutouts on that side. So there's a little bit more room, a little bit more air, a little bit easier for thicker juice to travel up into wick. Okay? So I like how we added that. Nice conical design inside of the chimney. Everything's good there. There's your wicking channel holes. I had to do it off camera, but I got it back on. You want to put the top section on first on the glass because it has the O-ring, and then put this in. Don't try to do it together at once. Okay, it's a lot easier. So here's the deck. All right, there's the build. I'm going to take the build out to show you, but I wanted to show you. That's the build you're going to see me put in there. Before we get into the deck, there is the airflow. This is a new like diamond cut honeycomb airflow. It has a lot of airflow. So you can turn it. It's going to do it to both sides, obviously, right? You can turn it, and then it stops. That's completely closed down. And there is a good amount of airflow in there. So here's the deck. All right, they updated the deck a little bit. I do have the Fatality M25 right here. Okay. As you can see, it's the same style, the same principle of an RTA, postless style, airflow in the middle. All right, but they did update the posts a little bit, okay, and changed it. Wicking channels, right? And then you have the insert in the middle. I have the diamond cut. You got flatheads installed. You have Allen keys in the package, okay? So if you wanted to change out this insert, which I'm going to do, because I want to use another one, is there's a little clip. There's a little clip right on this side here. So what you can do is move it out of the way like that. I just kind of flicked it out. And then as you can see, that is, you can run it like that as well, just wide open. So I'm going to take one of those inserts. All right, and that is the other one. These decks are, it seems like there's more airflow down the center than the M25. It's smaller, obviously. But this had an Ultim insert that you could punch in there, and now they have these sliding inserts. So they're a little bit tricky to get in and out. They do lock in, and I just wish there was a way to take these in and out without taking out the build and cotton. But it's tough to do considering it's under the coil, so there's not too much you can do with that. But at least it gives you options for the amount, like the type of airflow that you like. If you like really smooth honeycomb and you want to have everything honeycomb, you can do that. If you want a little bit more open, you can do that. If you want to run it wide open, you can do that as well. It's going to make small variations to the airflow, but not like a substantial, difference. It's still working the same as the Fatality, meaning it has bottom airflow in the same exact spot. The coils are going in the same exact way. And it just doesn't have two individual channels like the Fatality did. It has one, and it's diamond cut airflow on the outside. So it is more airflow than the M25 and more airflow than the, I would say about the same as the Fatality 28. They're similar. They're very similar on the amount of airflow. It has a good amount of airflow, more than I like, which is good because people out there that like more airflow than I do. So there you go. But we're going to do a build in this. what's up on the Violator RTA by QP Designs. What I gotta tell you about the Fatality, the Violator RTA. It's got diamond cut airflow. So the airflow on the outside is diamond cut, and the airflow, two of the airflow inserts, there's one diamond cut that's got less amount for a single coil, and then there's another one that has less amount of holes for a single coil, and then there's the diamond cut and the other regular cut for dual coil. I ran the diamond cut insert for dual coil for the past 2 days, and it holds 4 mLs with the straight, 5.5 with the bubble. They're pros. So pro is there's cuts on the side of the chimney that lets the juice escape and wick more efficiently. That little key detail is very important because this thing does wick tremendous. It really, really wicks well. The top turn section to undo it, to fill it and put it back on, it's counterclockwise. It's the opposite of what you would think, so it doesn't spin off the tank or spin off the mod. I do wish there was some things to grab on the top section, kind of like the Fatality had. I had like some cuts. It was easier for your fingers to grab and to get off. Sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes I have a tough time taking off the top section to fill it. There is some holes on the top to get the glass out. I like how we added that as well. That helps so you don't ruin or scrape or scratch the interior or anything about the RTA itself. Very nice how we added those just to put in turn. Diamond cut airflow on the outside no matter what. A lot of airflow to this. So you can like look right through it and you can see there's a lot of airflow. But that really doesn't matter too much. It really depends on the airflow that is under the coils in the deck section near the coil where you put the insert. That is a pretty large, substantial amount of airflow. If you run that wide open, it's going to be more open, right? If you put the diamond cut, it's going to smooth it out. Vice versa. Let's have vape, dude. Let's have vape. I have too many thoughts going on right now. I'm trying to throw it all at once. I can't do that. Wick's great. You can adjust the juice flow just by turning the barrel. All right. I like it to leave it kind of wide open. Sometimes I close it down about 80% open, 20% closed down. Smooth airflow in this. It's really, really smooth airflow, especially with the diamond cut insert. There is a pretty night and day difference. Maybe not night and day, but there is a difference between having the diamond cut insert in there and having the other insert or having it wide open with nothing. It does change the vape. It does change the airflow. And that's good that he added the inserts that way versus the Ultim insert. You could break that and then you'd be SOL. It is a little tricky to adjust the inserts, take the inserts in and out, but not too bad. There's like a railing system in there to guide it in. And then there's a little notch to lock it like I showed you down low. I do like that. It's a pro. It's better than the Ultim inserts, I'll tell you that much. Pro. Me personally, between the inserts, you could do a single coil on this as well. I didn't mess with the single coil. It's 28 millimeter. I don't want to do a single coil. I want to do a coil. All right. I cut the leads 5.5 millimeters. All right. 5 to 5.5. I like to have them low towards the airflow. Also, what you can do is if you bring the coils in, it's going to give you a little bit less airflow than if you keep the coils out a little bit. So depending on where you position your coils, closer together or upright and open, you are going to get more airflow like that, less airflow like that, but a little bit. This has a substantial amount of airflow to accommodate, I would say, pretty much anybody that likes certain draws, especially an RTA, if you don't want to be just sucking in air and getting no flavor, you know? But it's going to also, that depends on your resistance. If you have a lower, super lower resistance, you're going to want more airflow. If you have a higher resistance, you're going to want less airflow. And this does and is able to accommodate everything in between. So I do like that. There's a lot of airflow options to it. Big pro. Leaking. Let's get into leaking. So it does leak. I'm not going to candy coat it. I'm not going to sugar coat it. Spin around, curveball. I'm not going to beat around the bush. It does leak. I feel that it's obviously, to me,
And in general, it's not going to leak as bad as the Fatality, because the Fatality had open airflow, and it's just easier for the airflow, the juice, to get out of the airflow that way. Having the diamond cut, having smaller holes is going to help it from falling out those holes. It might get stuck in the holes. So instead of seeing juice on your mod, you might see juice in the actual airflow if you look at it. But it's not crazy. 2 days vaping on, 2 days vaping on that one setup before I did the build earlier. For 2 days, I got a little bit of leaking. I got a little bit of leaking on the side. You know, I had some condensation and some leaking inside of the airflow, but to me, it doesn't feel like it leaks as bad as the Fatality, but don't hold me to that. Don't quote me on that. It could be similar, maybe the same. I would say a little bit less leaking than the Fatality. All right, but it does leak. So just keep that in mind. It's bottom airflow. It's kind of hard to get a bottom airflow atomizer in general not to leak. And sometimes I've noticed it doesn't happen initially. It takes a little bit of time of vaping on it to get it to leak. Like you're vaping on it, it's wicking, and then you put it in your pocket and you don't close down the juice flow control, and you leave it in there for an hour or two or whatever, and then you pull it out. You might get some leaking. But a good way to try to avoid that is close the juice flow control and close the airflow when you're not using it. Then you'll probably have a better experience on it not leaking. So just wanted to make sure I mentioned that as well. Now, how's the performance? How does this compare to the Fatality 25, Fatality 28? 25, personally, I liked more than the 28 because it was smaller, a little bit more of a condensed chamber, better flavor, etc. Both had great flavor. I loved both Fatalities. A lot of people out there said, I'm not going to say a lot of people, some people say out there that they did not like the Fatality because, I don't, whatever reason they had. But now I like the airflow on this closed down to about halfway to 70% closed down. I don't like it wide open. I feel like I get better flavor with it half closed down or 70% open, 50 to 70% open. Obviously, less airflow, more flavor, right? That's why a lot of companies. Another thing pertaining to this RTA, I love how we added a good amount of airflow, because a lot of companies out there make these atomizers with restrictive ass airflow, and yeah, they're doing it just to make sure you get a really flavorful vape off of it, but you can achieve the same thing by adding more airflow, just close it down. But a lot of companies be making these mad restrictive atomizers, and you're leaving it out of the people that like more airflow. So I like how we added enough airflow. Like, there's more airflow in this than I like, so that's going to accommodate a lot of people out there like yourselves that like more airflow than I do, or you like a lower resistance than I do. I have a 0.1 in here, Wraps coils, Flat Aliens, my favorite coils, especially James Mucklin coils as well. But yeah, 105 watts. It's really good, man. I don't know if I told you this, guys. I don't know if I told you this, but I like the non-diamond cut insert. I like the other insert versus no insert, but I like the other one besides the diamond cut insert in there versus having the diamond cut insert in there. Wow, that was a mouthful. Sorry, I didn't mean to confuse you. Because it kind of opens it up a little bit. I get a little bit more of the crackling of the coils. I feel like it's just more, it's got less, the air and the vapor's got less things to travel through. It just kind of, it's easier to get up through the coil to your mouth. That's, I don't know if you could do some research on that or turn that into a scientific thing, but I do notice I do get better, in personal preference, better performance and flavor off of it with the non-diamond cut insert, okay? Now, how does this compare to the Fatality? Let's just brass tacks. Let's get down to the bottom, the nitty-gritty, right? It's way smoother airflow in the Fatality. Obviously, it should. It's got diamond cut. It's honeycomb. The Fatality did not have honeycomb. Well, the Fatality 25 without the insert didn't have honeycomb. I felt like the honeycomb in the M25 was too restrictive, in my opinion. So it is way smoother of airflow on the Violator from the Fatality. Do I think there's a substantial difference between the Fatality and the Violator to justify, I don't know, picking it up? That's going to be really depending on you guys. That's going to really be up to you. But I don't notice too much of a difference of a vape between the Violator and the Fatality. It's smoother airflow, yes. It's got about generally the same amount of airflow, yes. It's a lot smoother of airflow. I think it's just smoother airflow. I think that's really, in my opinion, it boils down. It might have a little bit better flavor than the Fatality. Could. It's very hard to tell. They're very similar. They're very similar in a lot of ways. Airflow is coming to the coil the same way. The coil's going in the same way. The only difference is they added inserts up top and diamond cut airflow on the outside. So to me, it's smoothing out the airflow. Maybe, yeah, you get better flavor. You might think you get better flavor from honeycomb airflow. Well, then there you go. But I don't notice too much of a difference between the two on flavor. Leaking, yes, this leaks less. Smoother airflow, yes, this has got way better smoother airflow. Another thing I wanted to mention is the colors. They got black and stainless steel. It's a limited edition. They're doing 2 batches only. And the black is a piano glossy black. You know, I wish it was a matte black. Philip, I hope you come out with a matte black on this. I really want to see a matte black. If I had both in my hand, I'd obviously choose the Violator. If you love the Fatality, yes, I think it's a good idea to pick up the Violator. If you want smoother airflow, you know, and less leaking, and easier inserts, and maybe, you know, you have the 28 and it doesn't have any inserts. Good time to pick up the Violator, for sure. But if those things don't really matter to you, I don't think there's really a need to be able to, you know, have to go out and pick up the Violator if you don't enjoy the Fatality. If you don't enjoy the Fatality, then don't pick up the Violator. If you don't enjoy the Fatality because of the airflow, then yes, I would say pick up the Violator. It's got honeycomb airflow. It's way smoother. It's one of the smoothest airflows I've vaped on, especially on a large atomizer like this. It's good flavor. I mean, I like it more with the non-diamond cut insert. I feel like I get better flavor. I feel like it's more of my speed. It's a nice looking setup, if you ask me. I mean, I think I'm going to have a review on this soon. I think Vanny Vape and Suck My Mod so far did a really good job. I think those look really good together. I don't like these on mechs. I don't like RTAs on mechs in general. I don't know. I don't like mechs. I like a little bit more power, and I like to have it on a regulated device. So that's why I cut on the regulated device. But it is $70 US dollars. If I had to choose between the two, I would pick the Violator because of smooth airflow, and smooth airflow is always better. And it's easier to have one airflow adjustment than two. Those were tough to adjust. They were very tough to adjust. And the wicking on this, it's more efficient on wicking because of those cuts. I don't know what to tell you, but that's what I got for you today, guys. Hope you found the video helpful. Hopefully I gave you some insight and info on the Violator, because I know a lot of people are asking me questions. Fatality, Violator, you know. So that was my first question as well. But catch you guys on the next one. Peace.